What's going on? What kind of news do you look at, right? Like you want to get like a 10 times a day updated look at what's going on inside that guy's head. Go to Drudge Report and read the headlines. Just use Drudge Report. I mean, there's a dozen different examples, but you can use a website like Drudge Report as a view into what's important, what's this guy thinking about right now from a news perspective. And then your idea has to, in some way, address that and fulfill a need for him. Does it make sense? That little dude on your desk, every time you sit down to start writing an idea, is a breakthrough for this business. Never before have a group of copywriters all sat in one room and they're like, this is it, this is the guy, this is who every message has to be directed to. Questions about Kurt before I move on to the $20,000 opportunity? Yes, sir.
Would you say he has like this isn't the right word, but maybe it'll get the idea, like a vendetta or like a grudge against Wall Street?
Well, that's why we exist. If those people didn't, if those people weren't fundamentally untrusting of the machine, like we wouldn't be here. That's why, that's part of the reason why this whole industry exists. So it's weird. So he's coming from a place potentially of distrust, and you have to get, that's why proof and credibility is so important to our promos, because we have to build that for him in what we do and the solutions that we provide. Does that make sense?
I guess the question is, does he, like, if he had to choose between just him making a fortune, let's say, or him making a fortune while, like, the guys on Wall Street go to shit,
right?
Which would he choose?
He wants a fortune.
And doesn't care about Wall Street.
Right, that's future pacing, right? The prospects in a promotion showing them how their self-interest is served and you're solving a real problem for him. Anything else that happens outside of that is ancillary.
Okay.
And in the end, not that important, right? Because what you want to do is you want to future pace him to the point where his pain, his fears, his anxieties, right? 80% of what you guys said Kurt's all about was pain points, fears, and anxieties. So you future pace him through the promo with escalating promise. Magic Show keeps getting better and better. You're building your case with proof and credibility, and you get him to a point where that purchase solves that pain, takes him to a different space in his life, and everything that once was like hurting him or uncertain for him is all of a sudden like better and corrected. And the easiest way to represent that is money, gains you're going to make. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else on Kurt?
How open do you think he is to things that he doesn't understand, or things that are like too new for him, or that his grandkids are doing, pot stocks, Bitcoin? How open is he to that stuff?
I'm going to use the example of the Kurt's that I use. My father and my father-in-law. My father's 71, my father-in-law's 70, and they just immediately dismiss that. And I'm like, hey Dad, what do you think of pot stocks? He's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I wouldn't invest in pot stocks. Like, if you paid me, I wouldn't buy a pot stock.
Yeah.
Right? But he didn't read Technology Profits Confidential pot promo from Ray Blanco. He didn't read Penny Pot Profits. You know, that's why the promotion exists, to show them the proof and the context and the gain potential that gets him over the fence and erases, melts away that skepticism, and then makes a buyer out of it. I mean, again, that's why we're here. All right. Sorry, did I introduce myself?
Yeah, you did.
All right. All right, I'll get out of here in 1 second. $20,000 opportunity.
Wait, I got one more question.
Go.
So, going back to your stepfather, your father, they just immediately just dismissed pot stocks. So the idea of the promo is, well, how do we get them to the promo? That's what I'm saying. If they just immediately dismiss the idea before they even know the idea exists.
Good quality, promise-specific traffic drivers, right? You get them to the promo by achieving a click.
I got an answer for you. It's the $1 million question, right? A big idea is what gets them
Right.
to there, right? Some way of reframing pot stocks in a way they've never thought of before, where they're actually excited by it versus skeptical.
Two things about that. One, these are 2 tips from my perspective as a publisher that are going to help you be successful more quickly. One is, you guys know ABC from the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, always be closing. In our business, it's ABP, always be pitching. Evaldo, Ryan, Scott Bardelli, the guys from Dig In, Jim Ammerheim, those like top level senior copywriters in our company, every single time you talk to them, they're like, hey, what if? Hey, what if? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? 90% of that stuff never becomes a headline and lead, but they are always pitching. They are always talking about an idea. As a publisher, and I think all the other publishers would agree with me too, we are never too busy to listen to your next idea. And it doesn't matter if it's an ordinary idea right now, our job is to help you do the work to make it an extraordinary idea, to make it something that we can put in front of our prospects, okay? ABP, always be pitching. If I see you around the office, first 2 words out of your mouth should be, what if? Hey, what if? What do you think about this? Right? Constantly. That conversation never stops. The second one, this is like a Jordan Belfort technique, but it was also in the movie Boiler Room that you might remember. You know, guys know act as if. This goes back to the certainty speech that I gave last year. Maybe you guys have seen that video. Act as if. You're like your junior copywriters, you don't know a lot about the business. You're learning about Kurt and what it takes to put an idea in front of him. When you sit down to write, act as if you have the answer, you have the solution. In your prose, you have to be certain and have that conviction that's going to make Kurt want to know more about what you have to say. Does that make sense? Act as if, an ABP. They'll get you there faster. Okay, last thing, 20 grand opportunity. I know some of you guys are technically copywriters associated with another publishing group, so this offer probably isn't for you. I have 2 copywriters that work with our group, and Rob, who's done a little bit of work with us, and then the rest of you guys who are kind of like free agents. This is for you. I wrote down, last night I wrote down blockweed and pot chain. I don't know what either of those things mean, but I think there could be an idea because it takes blockchain and it takes cannabis business and it puts them together as one. 1 year ago, next week, we started work on penny pot profits. POT is the pub code. A junior writer who was a part of this group wrote that promotion. And we're coming up on 10 mil gross in the last year on that one single idea. And the funny part is we've relet it, but we've never actually attacked POT with a wholly separate promo idea since we launched that a year ago. So that's the opportunity. I'm a copywriter on that promo and I have points to give. So if somebody what ifs me an ordinary idea that we jointly work into an extraordinary idea, and you go out and make another $1 million on POT with your promo idea, I will give you an extra 1% specific to this one opportunity. So if you're at 1% and 10K on a $1 million promotion right now, that's 20K. If you do that and you achieve that and you get $1 million into POT on top of your extra 10, I'll give you another 1% and then you'll make 30 grand instead of 10 on the second million. Does that make sense? That's an extra $20,000 to someone in this room if you take advantage of that opportunity. So that makes this $5,000 opportunity seem really shitty in comparison, which is why I'm glad nobody took me up on this. Does anybody have any questions about the $20,000 opportunity I just described? And again, for the guys who are associated with another group, I'm sorry.
So, let me say, you did a promotion based on Blockweed a year ago.
No, we did a promotion, good question. We did a promotion last year based on small pot stocks.
Okay.
Hey everybody, buy pot stocks, they're going through the roof, right? 10 million. Today, the conversation has evolved. If we'd gone through the ringer 9 times and put out 5 different promo versions and reled them all 10 times, I wouldn't be presenting this opportunity to you. But this is a low-hanging fruit opportunity. We have never seriously edited that promo and come back at that core prospect with a different idea in the last year. So put blockweed or pot chain through your Thinkalator and see what you come up with. I have 2 news articles actually in my possession, which I can send you today if you'd like to read them, about small community banks that are reaching out to cannabis companies in Washington, Colorado, and California, helping them secure banking transfer outside of the federal regulations which prohibit them from doing it. And 2 of them are using blockchain associated technology. So this isn't like some shit that I just made up, like driving to work. This is like a real thing that's happening. Okay? All right. Last chance on the $5,000 opportunity to go home and go about your life and just, no? Good. I love it. I love it when nobody takes me up on the 5K opportunity, because the 20K opportunity and the opportunities beyond that, that's what you're all here for, and that's what really counts. And don't ever, 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 ever forget about Kurt, because he's a real dude and he needs real solutions from us. Never, ever put anything in front of Kurt that isn't honest to God in his best interest. you'll sleep at night, and you'll have more success faster. That is my number one message as the publisher of Seven Figure Publishing. Questions about anything? Come talk to me at the office. I'm never too busy to hear your what ifs and help you develop an idea, even though sometimes it might look like it and you have a hard time getting a hold of me. Cool? All right, I'm out of here. Sorry, that took way too long.
Also note, Aaron, for probably 10 years, has been one of the first one in the office every single day, too. So I don't think that's a coincidence, right? Aaron's, he beats almost everybody else in the office. And he leaves, not like he does that and then leaves at 2 o'clock either. He's there late at night, too. So there's work ethic in there, too, aside from the things he just laid out. Before we get to the pitches real quick, who has their perfect promo journal with them? And it's fine if you don't. Who's got it with you, though? For those of you that have it with you, open it up. Flip to any random page that has writing on it. Tell me what you learned from the promo you read that day. Tell us what you learned from the promo you read that day. Jimmy. Tell me what promo it was, and then tell us what you learned.
Oh, God. I have no idea what promo this was on this random day. But I did discover that some promos can be evergreen, based as long as the problem is evergreen. And
Was it Dead on Arrival? Was it the health one?
It was a health one.
Yeah.
I know it's a health one because health problems are always going to exist. But the ones that make the most money the quickest are the ones that are time-based. We're talking about like the organic scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, you have to do this before, you know, like the 42-day retirement plan. It's like you have to do this before January 12th or whatever.